Violent Cop, yeah. It was
the best thing about
cool
Violent
that
Cop.
the director played the main role.
yeah.
No,
This
it's
is
the
my
other way
this is my
around.
Director
Takeshi.
underplayed the main role.
It's
My
the
Takeshi,
other way around.
What's the other way around?
He was cast to be the star. The director quit, and he took over directing after rewriting the script to not be a comedy.
Yeah, and it's his first.
So this is the Japanese. This is the Japanese Tombstone.
Can I present a drinking game to go along with this movie?
Sure.
Is it,
I want you
drink every
guys
time
to
the music
please.
does-
I want you guys.
Wait, is it drink whenever someone in the movie drinks?
No, every time there's a shot of him walking on the fucking street, you have to take a drink. And I want you guys to tell me how long before you're comatose.
Yeah, this is
Like
this
within
is
the
a
first 5
walker.
minutes?
This movie's a walker, and
I hope you guys saw what this was referring to. It kept those ski shots. Samurai, the La Samurai.
I don't fucking care.
There's tons of scenes in La Samurai, the same thing, and walking around.
too many scenes.
I don't care either because I'm gonna make
I
understand.
started walking, and then I just started getting annoyed and just.
I understand, but I want to make a statement. I want to make a statement though.
Get up there.
At least the dialogue
nobody walks. Nobody has a cooler walk than Beat Takeshi. I'm telling you.
Okay.
He
This
just
guy.
got off a horse.
He is a bow-legged, hunched over, awesome.
Sometimes hold on. But sometimes there were two guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Then you got to take 2 drinks.
One guy
No.
fucking walking.
Right. You'd be
but
drunk.
I do.
If
but
you
I do
drank
love his
every
walk.
time somebody walked in this movie, you'd be really fucking drunk.
Chris, go back to that previous slide if you could.
I do love his walk though. I'm just saying.
Oh, that you can't see with that. I love that sign. There's a hamburger.
Yeah, it says hamburger.
No, it says Hamburg, I think.
Hamburg. Yeah, coffee house.
I'll just say, if the first hour and 10 minutes had been as good as the last 26 minutes, I would have liked this movie a hell of a lot better.
Wow, Chris, I'm the exact opposite. I liked the first half when it still felt like it was a comedy.
Wow.
The reason it feels like a comedy, and this is the other drinking game that you can do during this movie, is drink every time the music doesn't know it's in a drama.
No fooling.
Which is the whole movie.
Oh, that's the whole movie. Yeah.
There's this amazing kind of chase
like
running in the middle of the movie, and it's playing like smooth jazz.
That is the best part of the movie.
It's a riff on that Fear song, only it's Tokyo's All Right if you like saxophones.
Exactly.
There's like 3 points in the movie where it has normal like action drama music, and the rest of the time it's the one thing about this movie, and it's been a long time since I watched it and I forgot this is shot like a 1990s television show.
It is. It's
like
flat,
this
cheap.
feels like The Pretender or something like that, except extremely violent.
It's not. But hold on. And maybe I've seen too many American or other countries' version of a violent cop movie. I mean, we've watched a few of them on this show. This is the most polite, violent cop I've ever seen. Probably because by Japan standards, he's fucking Rambo.
Right.
Because this guy
he slaps that dude like 42 times.
I know.
Slaps. That's the key word. He slaps him.
Now, mind you, this
is you can fuck someone up by slapping them that many times.
And it didn't look fake.
The thing it did not.
No, I think he's really slapping him.
Yanking to the side every time he gets hit.
Maybe this was. I don't know.
I'll let you guys dunk on it, and then I want.
No.
I struggled. I am literally this movie's target audience, and I just sat there like this for the first hour.
Because
that's the opposite for me.
Story.
Wow.
This is just like Tokyo Story. The people in this movie delivered their lines as if they were in some kind of walking coma.
Well, there's usually Japanese actors are shouting.
Right?
What's that? See, it's harder to see here, but everything Takeshi Kitano does, including this first feature,
I like this guy.
Is intentional. And what he's doing is this stylistic kind of poetry. And he's more interested in making things human than he is in making things like be full of action.
Then,
fine. No, you're not no, listen,
well, he is an asshole.
People don't like certain things, but I think it's like this guy has an acquired taste, and one of I think his strengths is definitely his comedy and his violence, wedding those two together, putting them right next door to each other, and then also having the style that he sometimes he doesn't show you the actual action part. He shows you the setup and then he shows you the aftermath. And then your brain fills in the rest. And I think that's fucking brilliant. Like that guy on the side of the road whose car got hit, and then you just see him sitting there with a broken nose, and you know all those 4 guys jumped out of the car and beat the shit out of him, but he didn't show you that. Like
that's when he makes the choice to show, I don't know, 8 minutes of that horrible rape.
Yeah, and the slapping and the shooting at the end.
Let me stop.
Slapping her too.
The thing about this film, I think that part of it is like this is obviously trying to be like a cop show. It's a cop show, basically. You're right. It's like a TV thing. But the thing I got out of it, and this is something that I think we didn't quite get, is up to the near the end. There's almost no guns in this movie. And in fact, all the violence is very manual. There's so much kicking. There's so much slapping. There's so much hitting
on the ground.
Like the thing is, this is why you do law enforcement in a country with no guns. At the end, of course, that's different because when the guns come out, everything turns red. But it's like up to that point, it was like I kind of dug it because it's like you had to go and like it's like a British cop shows from the 70s. There's not a lot of gunplay in those. You have to figure out, slap them around and get the answers from those guys. I felt like that, but
it did. I also like the fact that there were hardly any pretty locations that they shot on. There was a bunch of just shitty locations, decaying buildings. Because it wasn't. Most Japanese films seem like they're either a recreation of like the Middle Ages, or if they take place contemporary, they're in sort of these pristine environments.
Do they say what town this is in, or is this like kind of like they're doing that?
They mentioned Chiba at one point.
So it must be suburban Tokyo.
I assumed it was
Tokyo. The guy who sleeps with his sister is from Chiba. So it's probably the outskirts of Tokyo.
Yeah, but I love metropolitan. I love how the chase in the middle has like 4 movements or something. You know what I mean? It's like they lose
an unrelenting chase too.
It's Jared. That was my favorite part of the whole film, was that ridiculous chase where it's like, oh, there he is, and then they turn the car around, and he's on foot, and they're in the car, and it's like, you're gonna hit him, and then he hits him. It's funny.
It's funny. Beats the shit out of him too.
The tone of the whole thing changes after that, and I was really bummed out with the second half because it got so serious with the drug addictions and the rape and the violence got higher, and it's like everything that was great about the first half, and I mean, I admit it's goofy with the weird saxophone music playing, the inappropriate saxophone music, but I was on board for the first half of this movie, and then it was like that was the peak. That chase was the peak with the guy with the baseball bat.
I would argue how even though that chase is silly and it's like drawn out and it's stylized, I would argue that that's one of the most realistic sort of depictions of a chase you've probably ever seen, because the guy just doesn't disappear. He's still running. He's like going through neighborhoods
somewhere.
If they stay around, they're like, we're going to find. It's just most movies wouldn't show you all of that.
Right.
They would cut to they would show you go down one alleyway and then you cut and he's right there and you grab him, And it's
also, and I think more sort of big picture is like, directors would be, we got to have an exciting chase here, and that wasn't sort of the mandate here,
right?
It was like, let's see what a chase would actually be like, and there are like lulls, and there's parts where the cops are in the car kind of arguing.
At one point, those guys are eating ice cream.
Turn the car around.
Those guys are eating ice cream.
10 minutes down the bridge, and then it's like he turns around and goes, "Oh shit, that was him."
Yeah. And I mean, they're like, go, like the dudes are walking, eating ice cream. Then they start running. Yeah.
But the movie just
at one point, both the guy is being chased and the cop, our hero, like both sort of seem exhausted about halfway through it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So now he'll catch him, but then he
but because Takeshi smokes like a fucking chimney.
Yeah.
So
He's
so
winded.
What happened? What happened? Why did this movie change tone so much in the second half? It was like two different movies.
I'm telling you, man.
Because also, if you
of Japanese cinema,
well, and also if you know Takeshi's films, which I wanted to choose Sonatane, but it's not streaming, and I know you guys could have found it, but because I wanted that to be like the first, because that's my favorite, but. He's really interested in gangster motifs, gangster characters, the Yakuza. He's very, I mean, that's almost exclusively what he does. But he infuses it again with like the first half of this movie, John, what you're saying. He infuses it with humor and humanity and almost like surrealism and I think it's kind of poetry. Like if you explore some of his other movies,
you see his character gets pushed too far at a certain point, and when he gets pushed too far, everyone around him gets afraid, and then that's when the violence happens.
Yes.
It's like you've got the Yakuza guy who's like, you fucked up by going after this guy so hard, and then the hitman tries to go out and deal with it, fucks up dealing with it, goes back, kills the Yakuza guy, then goes and kills his own people, and then gets killed, and then when it's like, oh look, he won, blap. And my favorite part in this movie, both of the times that I've seen it now, is when the assistant guy comes out and he flips the light on and he looks down and he looks the other way and he goes, everyone's gone crazy. He turns the light back off and he just leaves.
That's pretty much it.
After basically shotgunning him in the head.
The thing is, this after opposite of John, I thought this part near the end was just spellbinding. It was
this is starting to get super fucked up. I liked it.
The dynamics between these
total To Live and Die in LA ending.
Yeah. Anyway, the dynamics between the three henchmen
and almost kind of a Reservoir Dog.
All right, just keep talking over me. That's fine.
Jim, you said something earlier.
Talking over me. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Jim said something about Scott. Japanese cinema a minute ago, and I didn't hear it, so I was going to ask him what he said.
But let Scott finish his.
I said it was like the history of Japanese
obviously
cinema.
I'm not.
It starts off with comedies and ends up with.
Oh, okay.
Okay, are we all done now? Are we all done? There you go. All right, good.
You guys, Scott would like a word.
Okay, wait. Okay, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? All right, come on. The thing is,
sorbet.
The thing is that the dynamic between these three henchmen and the Yakuza guy and, of course, the cop was fantastic. I rarely see this in American films, in terms of like testing loyalties on the spot and what these guys were doing and how they worked together. I thought it was just great. I haven't invested emotionally in these characters, but when it all came down, it all seemed so logical and it all seemed so final. It was great. And there's also the thing about Japanese films, the Ronin character. You know about this, right? That when a character wanders away from the kind of state,
because the Ronin is like a rogue samurai.
Rogue
is that
samurai,
right?
Yeah. It's like all characters follow like they're very social strictness. They follow the social rules. If they break away from the social rules and become their own thing, they become a Ronin. This is a Ronin ending. Our protagonist cop is broken away from society, and so they always get killed at the end. They never survive. The thing that surprised me is he fucking popped his sister. That was brutal. That was brutal. Coming. But that showed you that's the break from this society.
That's
killing your own family.
That's Pete Takeshi's normal approach to female characters.
I guess
just putting that out there.
He does have a
chant.
Well, I just watched, so I'm watching this trilogy over again after this, and I've watched the first two, which is Violent Cop and then Boiling Point, and now I have Hanabai next, Fireworks. But in Boiling Point, basically he's actually a Yakuza gangster in Boiling Point.
Oh, fun.
And he asks, like he tells his girlfriend to sleep with one of his henchmen, and then after she does, he berates her the whole time. Like the rest of the movie, and he's like, and he's smacking her, like not like as hard as he is these other guys, but he's like hitting her and going, "Bitch, you fucking bitch," and she's like, "You told me to," and he's like, "But you didn't fucking have to," and it's funny, but it's also Tad's kind of right, I think. Like, I don't know, he's a weirdo, but yeah.
Well, there's an interview with him where he talks about how he snuck into the first screening of this, and as soon as he walks on screen, everyone starts laughing because he's known as a comedic character.
Yeah, he's a comedian. Yeah,
he also
dresses like Jacques Tati.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I have to play the worst possible characters imaginable, and he's like, I did that for 10 years, and then people finally took me seriously as an actor.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny too is when you watch his work. I mean, everything is evident here. It's one of the first like realize like he seriously realized his style and his everything in the first film. It gets a little more refined as you watch his work. But
yeah,
the other thing I loved about this movie was I don't know, I love how he just has people stand there and stare. Like he'll cut and they're just staring.
Sometimes they stare a long time.
For a long time.
Like World in a Wire, long time.
But see, I for some reason, but personally, like I revel in that. I don't know why. I just because it's you don't get that in American cinema.
I'll tell you one place. Different cinemas. I'll tell you one scene where that really worked was where he got called into the chief's office and got and
he just stares
dressed down, and you think he's going to react when the chief says, "You're in so much trouble," and he's just like,
"Yep." Well, because the Jacques Tati comparison is correct, and
it's deadpan.
We get to assign the emotion to his character that we are feeling.
Yeah. True. It's the when he's just staring.
Experiment. But that's also the same. But that's also the same thing that the assassin does. Like he's doing a parallelism there of showing the assassin does the same thing.
Yeah, when the assassin gets scolded, he just stands there. By the guy. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't know. I'm on this guy's wavelength. I particularly am in tune. I don't know.
There is
he's just so different.
There's a bit of first directorism to this thing, first director.
Yeah, you should watch.
That was clumsy as fuck.
Yeah, some places were quite, not quite formed right. But
that's you'd be surprised at how much some of that's intentional. I'm telling you.
I know. I'm just telling you. It wasn't a problem. It's just like it just kind of stuck out sometimes. Golly. Anything else?
But again, it's not just first directorism. It's also he had zero time to prepare and zero time to make this movie. He was on like a 10-day shoot.
Wow.
It's just like.
But there were rewrites to keep it from being a comedy. So they were taking out jokes.
He rewrote it.
Mm-hmm.
But he is obviously he loves comedy though. Like it's
still very funny, especially first half.
He's always very funny. He puts comedy in all of his movies. And he has one really good movie that is not so much focused on gangsters, and although he is a former Yakuza in the movie, and it's called Kikujiro, and it's very good. It's sort of like how he's this former Yakuza guy where there's a little boy about 6 or 7 and who is looking for his grandmother, and he helps him find the grandmother. And it's this beautiful sort of like road trip movie between this young boy and Beat Takeshi, and you would be surprised at how funny and touching it is. But he still is a gangster. He's just like retired. But he loves comedy. He loves just human moments and people.
I was a little cheated by the fact that I didn't see any Yakuza tattoos. I was hoping for a scene in a hot tub. The guy gets out, he's all covered with color, and he's like,
yeah.
I really
you get that. You
get
that.
With that suit, Yakuza looks like anybody else.
I really liked is the ritual cutting off of a finger for fucking.
I know. We didn't see that either.
Do it while he's hanging off.
I want some Yakuza ritual in this thing.
No, the best part is when he's like, "Go get something to hit it with," and she brings a thing, and she's just doing it very lightly, and she's like hitting and the guy's screaming, and she's like, like, oh my god, that poor guy.
I like this guy in a lot of other things. Battle Royale, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. I mean,
it's called Takeshi's Castle. God damn it.
Well, whatever. That's the box set that I bought is called Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. In any event, I was primed to love this, and I just sat there progressively more and more irritated with it until after the disgusting rape scene, it gets super fucked up at a totally different level, but more on my wavelength level. And then cool, everybody dies. Great. The end.
It gets kind of Tarantino-like after that.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, for sure.
And again, that close where the other guy rolls into the office and I am the captain now, and the secretary's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna pretend like I'm not looking at any of this, and that's like the shot with the credits rolling. Like that was they stuck the landing. Like that was cool, but it was also completely To Live and Die in L.A.
A little bit at the end, yes.
It was a few years earlier.
Meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
I didn't like the ending myself.
Right. Well, when he goes in,
there was no motivation for that rookie guy to be that way. There was no setup for that.
I love when he shoots the main guy though, and the henchman guy just stands there watching the whole time. He doesn't do anything.
Right.
He just walks out.
Jim, do you have a particular corner for this thing?
It was a fun movie. I mean, no, not necessarily. I think I've said everything I was going to say.
Okay, well, I guess
people were talking over me.
I go, yeah, okay. Hey, join the club, buddy. Anyway, I guess we show.
What's the name of the show again?
This movie called Violent Cop is about a violent cop. It does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
And yelling about movies
as advertised.
Survival of the loudest.
Exactly. That was good. Not too yelling tonight. All right. Show of thumbs. Go ahead. Let's do it.
Oh my God. I mean, I picked it. I love this.
A lot of it. I was entertained. How's that?
Hey. I liked it better the first time I watched it. I feel like it lost something on second viewing.